Then Vitali Klitschko. He's certainly having an effect tonight, the body shots.
Well, for me, whatever Vitali says about this, I reckon that although Chisora is a long way behind on points, I think he's had his hardest night for many, many years.
Definitely. Whether they make it up after what happened, at the weigh-in and as such, he'll respect him as a fighter, whether he does as a man or not, because he's given a good account of himself tonight.
Body shots followed by the switch to the head, all the power shots coming from Chisora.
Good shot.
Had a couple of communications before this one, people saying, yeah, you can talk the talk, but it's get in there and you find reality is rather different. Well, Chisora certainly talked it, and he's found that as he got in there, Klitschko is an intimidating man, but I think he's raised his stock here tonight.
He has. He's given a very good account of himself. He's come in, he's fought, he's put it on the line, and he's had a good go. He's pressured non-stop from the first bell to the last bell, and you've got to respect that.
Left hand on the blind side of the referee from Chisora went a little bit low. He's got a little more than a minute now in which to gamble and really walk Klitschko down and throw everything. Klitschko, the German crowd chants. Vitali. And Chisora's round for me though so far, this 12th.
Yeah, I mean, this is what he does. He does it for the first two in the last minute. He lets Vitali come back into it. They're good shots. Not much in them, but they're all landing.
Chisora trying to bully Klitschko around.
I didn't see any reason why the referee needed to split them then.
Seconds are ticking down. The multi-million-dollar making machine that is Team Klitschko looks as though it's going to prevail once more. But a brave effort from Dereck Chisora, carrying the fight to the champion right to the last. Last 10 seconds. Italian referee steps between them once more. There's the big right hand from Chisora. And there's the final bell. Brave effort from the British challenger. Vitali Klitschko is still champion of the world. I'd have given that last round to Chisora if I was scoring it, Paul.
Same to me. I did. I've given it on my card, and there's no denying who's won the fight. But listen, Vitali Klitschko knows he's been in a fight tonight, and Chisora's given a very, very good account of himself. He's come forward non-stop. He showed a lot of heart, and he's done well.
I dare say that on Monday morning, pick up your papers, and the talk's going to be about will David Haye fight Vitali Klitschko? Is that going to be a summer extravaganza? But for the moment, I think you should really give credit to what's happened here tonight and what was a good effort from Chisora. And I'm afraid to say that Vladimir's not looking a happy man, and one or two people in the ring who shouldn't be. Chisora and Klitschko touch gloves again, though. And let's hope there's no silliness up there. We don't want to see any afters. We've seen the fight, and we've seen a good fight. Chisora gave everything. I don't want to see anything kicking off up there now. Vladimir Klitschko in there, having a row up there with Don Charles. I don't think he's happy at all about being covered in water before the fight began.
No, and he's only right. You can't do things like that and expect there to be no repercussions for it.
But what I was saying is that, irrespective of what's happened in the run-up and beforehand, and the moments at which Chisora clearly overstepped the line. Look at this, look at this.
That's enough. Right, enough is enough.
Yeah, thank you.
We heard the voice of Frank Warren there, getting stuck in. And good to see that somebody's saying, come on, back off, this is stupid. Get out of the way. The fight is over. And it needed a firm word in there and an experienced head. And Frank Warren gave it. There's Vitali Klitschko and Vladimir, who was upset to say the least. He's still champion. As I was about to say, though, I think you should give credit to the way Chisora fought, if not the way at times that which he's behaved.
Exactly. Don't worry about how he acted, how he performed. He can walk away with his head held high. You know, the way he acted on the other hand is, you know, that's a totally different matter. But he performed well in the ring. He gave a very good account of himself. And listen, he got stuck in. He took his chance and he went for it.
Michael Buffer, our master of ceremonies, is poised. We'll be getting the results with that inimitable voice any second now. Chisora gave it everything and coming across and getting the applause from people at ringside. Let me remind you that after this we're going to be showing Brian McGee's WBA interim super middleweight title defense, and here's the results.
We go to the scorecards. Robin Doppler scores at 118-110. Bella Florian, same score, 118-110. And Eddie Popo scores it 119-111. All to the winner by unanimous decision. And still, WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Dr. Eisenhower, Vitali Klitschko.
Well, now this does not want to start getting silly again here. I think there's some pretty firm words being exchanged once more between the fighters. Vladimir gets between them. Well, this is not what we want to see. It's been acrimonious at times and it continues to be so. Unanimous decision by 8 points, and then by different route, 8 points on the third card. Vladimir is telling Dereck Chisora in no uncertain terms what he thinks of him. I don't like to see that, Paul.
No, I don't.
It's done and dusted. The fight's over. Everybody's done their best.
Fight's over, you know. It's going like the way the footballers are, you know, not shaking hands. Everyone else. The fight's done, you know, shake hands, walk away, win or lose. It's done, that's it.
Well, this interview is going to be in German, I think. And this is being relayed to the crowd. But Klitschko, well, he was dominant, but not as dominant as he has been. I'll try and get my own interviews for you within the next few minutes. In the meantime, let's go back to David Hay, Steve Bunsen, Jim Rosenthal.
Thank you very much indeed, John. A really spirited challenge by Dereck Chisora, losing by 8 rounds on every single scorecard there. And we will be talking to Dereck and, of course, to one or both of the Klitschkos as well. Your overall impression of the fight, not the stuff around it.
It was a typical Klitschko fight. He sort of controlled the rounds. Chisora did what I anticipated him to do, is walk into range, let his hands go. He put on a great performance. He boxed out of his skin. You know, I think he boxed a little better here than he did against Elenius. But unfortunately for Chisora, Vitali is so used to people pressing him, it didn't really faze him. But he got Vitali out of breath and he pressed him, but he never landed any real big eye-catching shots.
I think I would say, without wanting to put words in your mouth, Steve, that he left absolutely nothing in that ring, Dereck Chisora. He gave it absolutely everything.
Absolutely exhausted at the end, and there was a point, I think, at the start of the 11th when I really started to panic. David said to me at the end of the 10th, he's taking too many shots, and he came out in the 11th and he was taking them again, and he seemed to find a little bit of a second win. He gave us absolutely everything. He worked the body, he didn't try any dirty stuff, and he must have missed with 40 right hands by an inch.
Right.
And he just couldn't adjust that 2 or 3 inches. Had he adjusted it, who knows?
That was the range I was talking about.
Yeah.
Shots were just whistling past him by an inch, but he's perfect at that range. That's what Vitali does. You know, Chisora gave a great account of himself. Because Vitali was just that much better. But I'm looking at Vitali for myself. I was watching it. I was looking at Vitali as an opponent. I saw lots and lots of stuff.
You'd fancy the job, would you?
Listen, Vitali wouldn't hear that final bell. The slowness of his feet, the predictability of his 3 or 4 combinations. I know exactly what he'll do before he'll do it, and I'm so hoping this fight happens.
Now, before the fight, you talk about no dirty stuff.
Yep.
I guess water in a man's face is an argument, isn't it? It's clean stuff. I mean, it wasn't the opponent, it was his brother. He'd obviously had enough of him, hadn't he?
He has. maybe that was a bit of payback for when Vladimir came into the change room to mess with his gloves. He wanted to make it even, but I hope he doesn't get fined for this now.
I think, Steve, he did give it, I mean, from the word go, I'm so pleased he lasted the distance as well, by the way. He gave it a real crack.
Well, we said after about 4 or 5 rounds, how many rounds more does he have to go to kind of redeem himself? And he had the right idea, he just didn't have enough of those ideas. A big left hand to the body, a right hand trying to go in behind Vitali's left elbow, and he was having success there. And then swinging the left hook and the right hand occasionally. Sadly, he never connected with those 4 in one sequence. Had he connected with those 4 instead of only 1 or 2 of the sequence, because the secret to finding your range is not taking a guy out with 1 shot. Some people can do that. It's landing 3 or 4.
The boos you can hear behind us, by the way, of Dereck Chisora getting interviewed. They won't interview him in German, that's for sure. I don't think they'll ever hear too many of his answers in English either.
Well, at the end of the fight, he didn't endear himself to the crowd, Dereck, so he's getting the boos now. During the fight, he did silence them, and I think he won their respect during the fight, Jim.
Right. We should probably actually hear what Dereck has got to say here, really.
First of all, I want to say to those people who are booing, I don't mind, because they're all here to watch the sport. I love boxing, so I don't really mind. They can boo me, they can hate me, I don't really care. But as long as they paid money to come and watch boxing, the sport I love, I don't mind. And what was your question again? Sorry.
But I think you see the people are listening now, that's fine. Normally the people, they hug each other after the fight, and it's not possible. I mean, is it not the right way to give each other's hand and forget about the whole thing?
They did after the fight. The animosity is between Vladimir and Dereck. So listen, you know the way, you're right what you say, but you know what you do? You settle it in the ring. So let the guy have a rematch or have another fight.
So you want to fight him again, Dereck? Fight him again, or maybe his brother?
Whatever, you know, the only thing beat me today was experience. You know, but I want another fight. I love fighting. I don't hold back, I keep coming. And yeah, there will be a match. There will be a rematch, or I'll fight his younger brother.
Thank you, Dereck Chisora. Ja, das sieht ganz danach aus, als wenn wir nochmal...
Okay, then he wants a rematch, or he wants the other brother. I think I just about caught that. A lot of abuse from 13,000 Germans here.
Maybe that was the whole plan, spitting in Vladimir's face to get a rematch, to get a fight with Vladimir. Vladimir's only fighting Jean-Marc Mormec. Next, he'll get rid of that guy easy. And maybe he's wound Vladimir up to the point where Vladimir wants to knock him out.
Hey,
you know, stranger things have happened.
Late August, early September, 70,000-seater stadium, a month after David beats Vitali. I'm dreaming, I mean, listen, that could happen. Okay, Dereck could come back here and fight Vladimir. You won't be able to buy a ticket after that tonight. You heard them in here, Jim. I'm not saying it's great, I'm not saying it's right, but it's entertaining, and that fight was entertaining, and the fans will respond to a fight with Vladimir.
Okay, we can go down now to John Rawling, who is with Frank Warren and with Dereck Chisora. On you go, John.
Thank you very much, Jim. Dereck, first of all, your reaction to what has actually happened and how you thought that fight went.
You know what? I'm not gonna hide with no excuses. I got beat by experience, and I'm gonna keep working hard, and we'll get a rematch.
Do you regret now? You heard some of the boos there.
I never regret anything. You know, first of all, they can boo me, or those people who love me or hate me. I don't really care. As long as they watching the sport I love, and that's boxing, I'm happy. So, you know what? I came here to fight, and that's what I did. And the only thing that beat me today was experience.
What was happening in the ring after the verdict was given, after the fight ended, when Vitali and Vladimir came across?
But before that, anyway, before everything, you know, he came in my changing room. You know, he was trying to disrupt me when I was getting my hands wrapped. He was like, "Oh, we don't do that in German." But you know what? We don't really care anyway. You know, experienced fighter today won the fight. You know, did he hurt me? No. And I wanted to fight. I needed another rematch. But
made him fight. Absolutely. I was going to say, just moving on to that, let's talk about the fight again for a moment. To my way of looking at it, you gave Vitali Klitschko his hardest fight for a long time, arguably his hardest fight since Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, you know, I'm very disappointed in myself. You know, I didn't really work my jab. I wanted to work my jab. You know, I'm very disappointed in myself. But you know what? I gave a great fight, and the fans at home, you know, all over the world, you know, they know I gave a great fight. I didn't come here to just get paid. I came here to win, and the only thing beat me today was experience.
Frank, some of the things that went on around the fight, I've got to ask you, what's your opinion of that?
Well, you know, you come